Should you go with a publisher or should you go just straight independent? That's what we're going to be talking about today. The pros and cons of going with a publisher for your comic or just going straight independent, or maybe you do a hybrid. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of each one. As someone who has done both, worked with a publisher, I've worked with a publisher, a couple publishers actually. I've also done the whole indie route thing as well. I've also worked for a publisher behind the scenes for 5 years. So hopefully tonight we can have a silly goose time. I can, I'm not telling you this is what you need to do, but just to present like a wide scope of like, hey, these are your options. This is like what you could do. This is what you couldn't do. And it's going to be a silly goose time. All right. Let's make sure the stream's going. Yep, look, the stream is going, which is fantastic. Let's see. We got Hero Darky Dark. Since I got the space all to myself, time to start gooning. We got Unlucky Jack. We have Child's Play Comics. Llama's Meowing. Yo, how you doing? We have Kinma Amnik. Hey, peoples. Unlucky Jack. Really hyped for this show. I've been struggling on whether to try going with the publisher or going only independent. Well, hopefully this can help. Tyler, hit follow. No, Child's Play. Joe, you know morally why I can't. You know this. You know morally I just can't. Otherwise, I'm not a man of my word. We got Specs Vision in the house. What's up? We got Alois here saying greetings, y'all. Guys, we have literally 48 hours to go on the Super Plumber Sisters. This is the very first campaign of the year. And super excited to be like, look, we passed 10K. We have over 400 backers. Very excited and truly grateful for all the support. So if this is a book that you want to check out, link in the chat, link in the description. It's just a super fun action comedy about two sisters who fight supernatural monsters. And their friend Alfredo gets kidnapped by a supernatural monster. And so in the very first chapter, the sisters, they've got to investigate. They go into massive battles. And at the end, they're confronted by their rivals, their cousins, Winnie and Wanda. And so now the two teams have to go head to head in a super dungeon battle party. And, whatever team survives gets to move on. It's going to be a blast. Child's Play Comics back Super Plumber Sisters on day one and holding my pledge to fight despite tonight's Catan hate. Just a disgusting game. Catan is such a disgusting game filled with vile players. Like, you can cut me off and I can't build anywhere. There's no more reason for me to play. And the people I play, well, Tyler, you have to keep playing the game. It's not over. It's like, I can't build anything. You blocked off all my roads. I hate you. Or maybe things go fine and I'm like, hey, can you give me a sheep? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, you don't need sheep. They go, I know, but I just don't want you to have it. I'm like, okay, you know what? You're evil. Catan, evil game. Let's see if I can do like a Donald, like, evil game. Disgusting. Llama's Meowing. First time in the live chat, found you through comics Twitter. That's fantastic. Child's Play says, I hate whoever hurt you. There we go. All right, well, guys, like I said, tonight's stream is all about publishers versus going independent. If you have any questions in the chat, please let me know. All right. Oh, also real quick, guys, did you guys see this? I posted this. This was not supposed to be as good as it turned out to be. Like, this was not supposed to turn out as well as it did. I needed another cover for My Sexy Witch Academia 2, and I was like, crap. I talked to a bunch of artists. None of them could get me a cover in time, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just draw it myself. So drew the line art on this, threw in some of those like, spellcaster stuff, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna color this. And I literally did one brushstroke and I was like, I do not want to color this. And so I hit up my friend Rufai, and I was like, hey man, can you color this? This is the color scheme I want. Dude, this piece of art has no business looking as good as it does. And honestly, it's all Rufai, because without his colors, this won't look as good as it does. So no, that's why it's important to find, gotta find good people to work with. All right, let's do this. Let's talk about this. Let's get into this. I've got like my little whiteboard here. All right. Child's Play says, I got to talk to Ben Dunn last summer, and he laid it out like this. Do your Kickstarter, be successful, and let Antarctic Press be an afterthought. So you can do both, like you always say. Exactly. You can always do both. So that'll be the hybrid, and that's what we're going to talk about. All right. Class is in session. J Rose says, colors on that are chef's kiss. Now show us the line art. Ah, dude, I can't show you guys a line art. It's not as good. It's not as good. All right. So when it comes to tonight's topic, we are talking about publishing versus indie. The first thing that you need to understand is the two camps of people and what they consider success. You can have a mixture of both, but it's like, what's the biggest priority for you? And I learned this while working at that publisher, because I talked with a bunch of authors, and I would be like, what's success to you? And once you whittle it down, it really comes down to these two things. One, some authors want prestige, and then others want money. Like that, like it always comes down to these two things. Now you can have money and prestige, and you can have prestige and money. But it's like, what is the most important aspect for you when it comes to like quote unquote succeeding with your creation in a business sense? I have a friend named Scott, and his thing is he's all about prestige. He's like, he wants to win awards. He wants to be known as like someone who's like very talented. He wants to, when people go like, oh, who's a good fantasy writer? He wants people to go Scott, and he wants the awards and he wants the accolades. Me on the other, and he said like he could make zero money. Woo! Do you guys see that? He said he could make zero money and he would still be fine. He would still be happy. I might have to switch out this. Yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, so he said that he could switch out. All right, give me a second real quick. All right, we're back. It was only a matter of time before that clamp broke. Okay, so like I said, so he said that he could do all of this stuff. He could publish, do everything, and make zero money. Me, on the other hand, I could give a damn if I ever make an award. I could give a damn if I ever get invited to a con. And they're like, we have Tyler Carpenter. Like, for me, the biggest thing for me is, can I make money off of my work? So that I can use it as like extra income and stuff. That's what's most important to me. So like keep that in mind as you go through this, because this will like help you understand. Okay, like what do I want to do? You broke the bloody ship. All right, so let's go into publisher first, okay? It's okay, because I'll ask you to a con and bring you. There we go. There we go. Okay. So let me just get this out of my way. All right. So the pros of a publisher are going to be that you have this sense of security. You feel like, okay, like these guys have got my back. Publishers need IP. So publishers need you. When you work with a publisher, there's two sides to the deal, okay? So this will be the publisher, okay? The publisher needs IP, and that's what you have. And you, that's a person. You need distribution, marketing, and sales. They can't get sales unless they have IP, and they need it from you. And when you work for a publisher, either they're going to take all of the IP, they're going to own it 100%, or they're going to own a percent of it. Or if you have a deal like Antarctic Press or Image Comics, they let you keep 100% of the IP, and then you get paid a royalty based off of sales. So like AP is a very awesome company to work with. But here's the thing. Okay? And here's the thing to understand. The publisher needs you. The publisher needs you. Without you and your IP, they're not making sales. Okay, they're not making sales. They need what you're going to create. So there's 3 ways, though, that you can quote unquote succeed with your publisher. And there's 3 ways that you can make money. First one is maybe they give you a page rate. And so they go, hey, we want you to make a comic. It's 20 pages. And let's say we'll pay you $50. We'll pay you $50 per page. Sweet. Fantastic. The other way that they can do it, and by the way, this is what we would call like the secure, like this is secure money. I'm getting a page rate. I'm guaranteed money for my work. The next is royalty, or a percentage of the sales. This is the risky one because you could work and make those 20 pages and the book might not sell, and then you'll make no money. You'll make crud. So you're like, crap, like that wasn't worth it at all. Now it gets to a point where like there's a moment depending on how many sales you get where it's more optimal to pick the royalty deal, but it's more risky. It's riskier. So let's break this down. Let's say that you have a comic, that you're doing a comic. Let's say it's $3.99. Let's say it's 20 pages. Therefore, you would get, and let's say your page rate is $50 just for math. So you would get paid $1,000. So if you do your page rate, you're like, great, I got $1,000. Your royalty, if you were to go the royalty route, in order to hit $1,000, let's say the book is being sold at $3.99, and you get 20% royalty of those sales, you would need to sell 1,400 copies to get your 1,000. So in your mind, you're like, okay, if you're like, I don't know if I can sell 1,000 copies or 1,400 copies, the royalty deal might be better. However, the moment that it goes 1,401, 1,450, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, now the royalty deal Like that's where that's where it's way better than the page rate. You'll make way more money with the royalty deal. So when they started doing when Image Comics came about, a lot of creators, the reason why they didn't want to jump in is because they wanted the security of the page rate, because they're like, I don't know if this is going to work, and they're very used to that cushy and comfort. They don't know. Hey, they don't know. Am I going to be able to sell 10,000, 100,000 copies? And it's easy for guys like, Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld to be like, well, look at us, we did it. But they were also like, they were already at the top of their game. Of course, they were going to sell hundreds of thousands of copies. But if Joe Schmo comes on to Image Comics and puts out a book, who knows? Who knows if that's going to happen? So the page rate deal is solid, but there does get to a point where once the book exceeds a certain amount of copies sold, then the royalty deal might have been better. The third option, though, is the hybrid, which is a mixture of a page rate and a royalty. So how that would go is they give you your $1,000, and then once they then break even, so once they sell their copies, so you get your $1,000. Once the publisher, let's just say that once the publisher sells 2,000 copies, once the publisher, once the book becomes profitable and they break even, that's when you start getting your royalties on all the sales afterwards. So this right here, So this right here is the deal that I got with Coins of Judas, where I got a page rate deal, and then I also I got a royalty deal, and we sold we sold over 3,000 copies on that. With Antarctic Press, with my Manga Z issues, I just got a royalty deal. And so I made $150. I don't know how many copies were actually sold. I could do the math and break it down, but I got $150. J-Ro, royalties also lower tax rate than earned income. Oh, there you go. Blight Blazer, for royalty percents, hold on. For royalty percents to kick in, is it a money threshold to hit? Yeah. It's typically, it depends on the publisher, but it's typically once the book breaks even. Once the book breaks even, then you're gonna start doing it. But here's the thing: that royalty is still let's just go 10 to 20%. That royalty is still 10 to 20%. So let's say the book is $3.99. Where's my phone? Okay. Where's my calculator? Okay. And let's say you sold out 1,400 copies. You make 5,586. All right. Minus, let's just say 20% for shits and giggles. So out of that 20% royalty, you, the creator, would get this. And then the publisher gets this. So no matter what, when you're working with the when you are working with a publisher, no matter what, you are going to be the one who makes the least money in the whole deal. No matter what, you'll be the one who makes the least money in the deal. So when I was working at a publisher, typically what you're going to do, yes, I'm going to keep this stream, Vincent. Typically what you would see is most people are making $1 a book. Around $1 a book. So the book would be sold for 14 or $15, and the author is making only $1 a book. And if they want to do this full time, let's just say that they need, I think the average income is $60,000. So you do the math. If you want to do writing full time and you are with a publisher, with a royalty of $1, you need to sell 60,000 copies. And that's intense. And that is intense. This is what the distribution of people who do sales in book publishing is. Ready? I did a tweet about this. So right here is like 90% of people are in this where they're making like scrap. They're making very little. They're not making enough to even get close to like even pay their rent. Then you have people right here, that's like 9%, and they're making like, you know, let's go like 10K to 50K. And then you have the 1%, and these are like, this is the Brandon Sandersons, the J.K. Rowlings, this is the Tom McFarlanes, the Jim Lees, the Daniel Warren Johnsons, the Rob Liefelds. Like, not everyone is going to, you know, the Pat Shans, the Common America guys. Like, not everyone is going to hit the 1%. Most people are going to be in this 90%. And so when you work with a publisher, like, this is the reality. Like last year, during the Congress hearings with Penguin Random House, like what they found was like most books that were published by Penguin and Random House sold less than 30 copies. And you might go, that's crazy. Like, they only sold less than 30 copies. Guys, it would be crazy. We would work with authors and we'd go, hey, here's your pre-order link. We need you to get as many pre-orders as you can with your friends and family. The amount of people that couldn't even get their friends and family to pre-order their book was nuts. There were like 90% of our authors that we worked with, like, we would celebrate that they had 10 pre-orders. Because most of the authors that we published were in this range in terms of their royalty. Now, the average book, when you go into a Barnes & Noble, the average nonfiction book will sell 300 copies in its entire life. So you go into Barnes & Noble and you'll realize how hard it is. For fiction, it's a little bigger, but not that much. That's what I'm saying. Most people are in this category. So it's very hard when you're working with a publisher. It's very hard to do this as a living because you are always the one. You are always going to be the one who makes the least money in this deal. So, and that's why like when you're with a publisher, like, build up, it's important for you to focus on yourself and not the publisher, because the publisher is already winning just by you being there, by you giving them their IP and by them selling the book. Like, they're already winning. If anything, you're the one who's taking the quote unquote loss. Yes, you're getting distribution, but like, it just depends. Are you okay with 1,400 copies sold, but you only got $1,000? Now, we're not going to get into the indie side yet, but let's just say for shits and giggles, we wanted to make $1,000 on the indie side, and the book was $3.99 like we did last time. If my book is $3.99 with a publisher, I need to sell 1,400 copies to get to my 1,000. But if I'm indie, I sell my book for $3.99. To get to 1,000, I have to sell 250 copies. So that's why I say it just comes down to like prestige or money. What matters most to you? Does it matter most to you that your book is in a store? Does it matter most to you like the amount of copies that were sold? Or does the end result matter? Like, seriously, this is something for every creative to think about. Like, which one are you choosing? Like, in the chat, let me know what you guys choose, because there's no right or wrong answer. Are you choosing one? Would you rather sell 1,400 copies and make $1,000 because at least you're in the stores, you're getting distributed, or would you rather sell 250 copies and get $1,000? Like, what do you guys think? Let's get into the chat real quick while we do this. My head's hurting, guys. I'm sorry. All these numbers remind me of math class, and I don't like it. Fiona Wolf, most mid listers for novels don't even get that big. 100%. Just don't give up on the test. Where did all your vids go? Just new direction. Want to get rid of them. I do that like every year. Aladdin, his lips look so kissable. Yeah, man, it's because I got this filter to make me look a little more colorful. I didn't notice his lips until you said something. Aladdin, yeah, they're red. Homie wears lipstick. No hate. Just no, I turned the saturation up. Are you doing this math on digital books? No, this was just, I'm just doing just in general. Just in general. Mrs. H, I choose archery. Mama's meowing. Rather sell more copies. It'd just be happy if I made something that people liked. There you go. Black Ruby Comics. I'd rather less profit and more eyeballs on my product, especially my first release. Mr. Krabs, money. Blight Blazer, realistically both, if possible, maybe. Child's Play, since I'm doing this part-time, I'm happy only slinging 250 books and getting the same money. Unlucky Jack, probably publisher because of how much of that 1,000 is actually going into your pocket. Derek Johnson, do you do 3D model art, stuff like that, stuff for video games? Just curious. I don't do 3D modeling. If I ever do 3D model stuff, I hire that out to people to do it for me. As well, and this is also something, there's a mixture of both pros and cons in this list when it comes to indie comics. Working with a publisher. Here's another thing to consider. The lifespan that publisher is going to care about your work. So it's probably, at least when I worked for a book publisher, our timeline was this, of me caring about your book. 5 months prior, so this is going to be released. This is release. So 5 months before the release, I send you an email that says, hey, you need to start getting pre-orders from this time to time. And then I forget about you until 1 month later. 30 days before. I'm reminding you, hey, we got 30 days left to get these pre-orders. And then we have your release month. And then the month after, typically what you'll see is a bump and then it goes down. And it's at this point right here, I don't care about your book. I don't care about your book. And the reason why is this. At this point, your book is, unless your book has a sales trajectory of going up, which most don't, I don't care about your book. And this is just from a business standpoint. I've moved on. I'm working on the next release. So it's like when you're working with a publisher, you think, oh, I've got this team behind me. It's like, you have this team behind you for a short period of time. And then at that point, they've moved on. So after, if you're a March book, once your book comes out in March, in April or May, don't come ask me, hey, May, we had authors in May, hey, my book came out in March. What promotion are you doing? 0. I'm doing 0 promotion for your book. Why? Because it was a March book. I promoted it in March. Now I'm promoting the May book. And they go, well, how do I get more promotion? Come out with another book. Or you do something on your end to get more sales, and then I'm going to go, oh, this is... Or you come up with an idea. But, as for, the time and energy that I'm going to spend, I'm in May. I've moved on. And that's when the authors go, this is unfair. They don't love my book. And it's you're right. I don't love your book as much as you love your book. Because when you're working at the company, there's only one thing that matters. Sales. If the book isn't selling, we move on. We had a good run. We move on. We move on to the next book. to get more sales. And that's just how that's what you have to do to run a business is you have to think, okay, I need the sales. And I've told the story before when working at a publisher where we were given, my boss was like, hey, we have 2 submissions. We can only choose one. I'll let the sales and marketing team decide. And so we read both manuscripts. And I'm like, man, I'm going to go, manuscript 1 is excellent. Manuscript 2 is shit. Let's who are these authors? Okay, manuscript 1, some nobody, but they wrote a really good book. All right. Look at manuscript 2, author, which wrote a terrible book, influencer with 50K followers. Yeah, we're going to pick her book. We chose her book. And it sold a shit ton because she was able to promote it to her audience. We made a ton of money. She made good money. We obviously made more money because we're the publisher. We get to keep 80 to 90% of the money. But my point is like that. And that's the reality of working with the publisher is we're not all, it's not high and mighty. Oh, it's all about the art. It's all about this. No. It's all about the sales. Because we published that, because we said no to that person's book, and we didn't publish it, because that book was way better. We chose to publish the influencer's book because we knew that we would make more sales from that, and that's just how the business runs. And here's the thing: we later published that first book 3 months later, and it didn't sell. It didn't sell. It was so good. It was well written. It was awesome. It just didn't sell. You'd have to sell a bit more if on Amazon, since they do take a cut even from digital sales. But if you have your own site, yeah, it's 250 copies to get 1K. Sonoma Publishing, just woke up. Say you were alive, about to go back to bed. Just want to say hi. How you doing, man? Portugal, Tyler, this is going to be a nice stream. I can tell. Oh, thanks. I think so too. James, you'd be the one footing the bill for sales tax and payment processing. It's still not the full sale price. Even then, Amazon takes money because it's providing you a service and more buyers. John Douglas, how you doing? Hail, Tyler. Hail, John Douglas. Caden, self-publishing is the only thing that makes sense to me. I do not give an F about being on the same shelf as Batman or being distributed by Diamond. Alamas, book talk is a curse against the human race in your books. Tell us the name of the book. I'm quite curious. I cannot. Yeah, even Daniel Green's books end up making a decent amount even after running his Kickstarter. So it makes sense publishers would count more than, have an audience built in. Absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the thing. It's not the job of that influencer to, by the way, prop us up, to build us, the publisher, up. If anything, it's more important for that influencer to build up her base, so that then we benefit. And here's the thing. The reason why that person, because they would have made way more money had they done it themselves, this influencer. But you know what they wanted? They wanted the prestige. They wanted to be on the store shelves. They wanted the awards. And they, one of their books did win an award. But they wanted the awards. They wanted the accolades. They wanted to say, hey, I'm on the store shelf with all these other books. So, yeah, it just depends. So that's what it's like working with a publisher. And here's the thing. I've had great experiences. I worked with a publisher named Insane Comics. They were a very, 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 very... So, there's 3 levels of a publisher. So you have a big, small, we call these boutiques. So when I worked at my job, I worked for a small publisher. Small publisher. So an example of a big publisher in comics would be, obviously Marvel, DC, IDW. I'd say small. You have, Oni, AP, Image is up here. You have Oni, AP, and then down below, maybe Mad Cave. And then down below, you have Band of Bards. they're just very, very, very tiny stuff, So the one I worked at, I had my book at, was with Insane Comics. And so you have to remember, like, when you're working with a boutique publisher, there's not very much that they can do. When you're working with a small publisher, they can do a little bit more. And then with a big publisher, it's completely different. Johnny Douglas, you nailed it. A lot of aspiring authors only want the prestige of being called a published author. Heck yeah. Child's Play, I heard you say in a past stream that you made more money with Band of Bards versus Antarctic Press. Was their payout systems different? No. So the reason why I made more with, let's go back over here. The reason why I made more with Band of Bards was that I had a hybrid deal. And also, so I got paid a page rate plus I get royalties off of the book. Whereas with Manga Z, I only got a royalty. So I made like $150. But with Band of Bards, I got a page rate for both issues. I got paid for my covers, and then I think they've all covered their costs at this point, and they're re-releasing our stuff right now in Diamond, so you can get like the combo issue 1 and 2, and then they're going to just do a graphic novel, and I'll probably get some royalties off of that. Yeah, so like the hybrid model is great. Like if you can be like an indie creator, like right, that's what's great about AP right now. Is you as an indie creator can do your Kickstarter and your online store and your Amazon and whatever you want. And then you can also go to AP and they'll put you into stores. And then they'll pay you out. They'll pay you, maybe, depending on what it is, maybe 15 to 20% of the sales. Now, here's another big con, a massive con to working with a publisher. Because like we said, let's go through this. The pros: distribution, marketing, sales, editorial. You get to be on shelves. You don't have to pay for distribution. You don't have to pay for printing. Very, very, because they have a team for that. The problem is this, and this is a big thing for me. These 1,400 people who the are they? Who are these people? What are their names? Where do they live? Why did they buy the book? As a digital marketer, this is my biggest problem with the traditional market, because I don't know who these people are. Now, when I worked at my publisher, I, as the business, knew who these people were. Especially if we did some B2C stuff and we sold from our website, we got to collect the data, but we can't give that data to the creator. Whereas, like right here, if you got these sales via Kickstarter, Indiegogo, your own personal website, you know who these people are. Why? Because you have their data. And data equals a lot of things. One, knowledge, understanding your ideal customer profile, and then as well, retargeted marketing. I'm not going to go into retargeted marketing, but this is what essentially it is. You buy my product, and then you give me your email. I then go onto Facebook, and then I put in your email. I put a list of all these emails I've collected into ads, and now you see my ads. So now I can forever I can forever target you. I can forever remarket to you, because getting a repeat customer is super powerful. is super powerful. When I was working at that publisher, we realized in our very first year that we had a ton of first-time customers. We didn't have a ton of second, third, and fourth customers. And I was like, why did not? And I realized that we didn't have a retargeting campaign. We didn't have a strategy to get repeat customers. Took me like 3 weeks to build it out. Boom, revenue goes up, and we're able to get customers. So that's my big thing, is that like when you are in the traditional market, even though you sold 1,400 copies, you don't know who these people are. And as someone who's very big into digital marketing, data is worth a lot. All right, let me take a breather. So publishing, well, you can make sales if you keep publishing your titles. Sell them 100%. Let's see. J. Rowe. Starting out, is it better to focus on the prestige first and use those accolades for marketing, considering the small amount of money you will likely make? I mean, it just depends. It just depends. I think you can create prestige without having it. Here, a dark question: is it possible to submit to AP completely digital? Like, you just give them their PDF. They want to sell into comic book stores, though. Larry, lol, you shouldn't have to give your data to buy a comic book, Tyler. Well, you do give your data when you do it online. So whenever someone buys your Kickstarter, Larry, they give you your data, and then it's up to you as the creator what to do with the data. Larry says, see, that's the flaw in your argument. And who are those extra 1,400 people? They are people who are now reading your work, and maybe they back you later. So that's a big key thing. That's a key word, though. It's maybe. And that's the thing. If you don't know who these people are, if you don't have their data, the maybe, like, if you have their data, the maybe gets way stronger than the maybe they will, remember to go to the comic book store. If you don't know, but you'll never. But if you sell in stores only, like, you'll never get the customer data. The publisher might, depending on how they do it, but you as a creator won't. If you don't know, why old publish like mailing lists then, or newsletter signups? Well, that's the thing, dude. Newsletter signups are huge. In fact, like that's what I do. That's what I do. That's a big focus with my digital marketing. Is my thing with digital marketing is I'm all about creating lists. I buy lists. I retarget them. So I started work for a new company, and the first thing I asked was like, hey, what's your email list look like? And they're like, we don't have an email list. I went, how are you selling to these customers? They go, we have like 10 or 20 customers. And like, but we don't. I was like, hey, how do I find these people? And they go, So I did some marketing, and I started building out lists. And then I purchased a couple lists and did some tests, cleaned up the list. I won't get into how you do all that stuff. Sent out an email, made $20,000 the first week. Next email made $100,000. So like, just because the products we sell are so fucking expensive. But like, data is very, very important. In terms of the indie scene, in terms of being a digital like creator. Here, Darky Dark. Okay, good, because whenever I look at AP's rules for submission, it always seems like they want you to physically send pages. No, you just send them a PDF. Larry, Tyler, there are no guarantees in comics or life. It's all a maybe. I know, but you can always make the maybe a little stronger by having the data. Well, is Niobe the brain dead pig gonna be on all your streams, bro? This is getting obnoxious. If you guys are getting obnoxious, Larry's being fine right now, for now. So your argument here is store is bad because you do not get the data of the customer like you are some sort of Google bot. No, I'm just saying we're presenting, Larry. We're just presenting a big list of pros and cons. We're just presenting pros and cons, Larry. The pro, that is just one con. Just one con. All right. Latin says okay. So yeah. Does anyone have any? So this is essentially what I got in terms of working with a publisher. Like I said, let's start this one more time. Let's do a really quick recap. First off, what's most important to you? Prestige or money? Do you want the awards, the accolades, the fame? Do you want people to remember your name? Or are you okay with just like, hey, I'm making money off my stuff? Depending on which one, we then go, okay, let's say if I want to be a publisher, if I want to work with a publisher, typically people who want to do publishers, they're very into the prestige aspect because they want to be on bookshelves. They want to be sold into stores. Typically, most like big awards in the book world, you cannot get unless you are part of a publisher. So that's another big thing is you can't get a lot of awards, many awards in the book world unless you are published. You know, there are a ton of like fake indie awards, but like the legit awards you have to have published work. Vincent, do you have any data to see how much no data campaigns versus a data campaign differs? It's hard. I mean, I don't know how you'd have data on a no data campaign. I will say that, I will say as someone who does email marketing, it's my biggest focus for the last 6 or 7 years. Like capturing that data it is worth more than the money that they spend, honestly. Like getting someone's email and phone number is almost like at least in the line of work that I've been in, which I mean is like selling books and whatnot, is almost more important than someone buying your book. Which is why when I did like the Girl with the Mega, the Girl with the Megafist Volume 3. I'll tell you guys this. The Girl with Megafist Volume 4. I've never had a campaign hit 10K in 48 hours, but that campaign did. And a lot of it was attributed to new backers. Like I had an influx of new backers, and I was like, that's weird because normally the first like week it's all returning backers. And so what I did is, because you can only see their first names, is I grabbed their first names in the backer sheet and I put them into an Excel form. And then a couple weeks prior, I did a big campaign on my website saying, hey, volume 1 of the Girl with the Megafist is free. And so I had hundreds. Okay, it was like 200. Hundreds and hundreds of people download the first volume for free. The great thing about that was I got their emails and I got their names. I then, when the Volume 4 campaign launched, I sent those 200 people who downloaded for free. I said, hey, it's been 2 weeks. Did you like Volume 1? If you did, you can get the physicals. And at the time, the physicals were a lot more expensive on my site. So I said, you can get the physicals for this price on my Kickstarter. It's live. And a lot of those people, so out of those 200 people, I probably had like 50% of them, like 40 to 50% of them jump over to the Kickstarter and then buy all the physicals there. And so that's the power of getting people's data and whatnot, and having like a lead magnet, giving out a comic for free, and then getting emails. Like, guys, I have like 1 or 2 comics on my site that are $0, and it's just there, so I just get emails. I get new emails to my email list every single week just because I give away free comics. And then those people back my books. Miracle Kingdom, my understanding is that a publisher can submit up to 5 of their titles for industry awards like Eisner's. The submission does not originate with the creator, as I understand it. With the Eisner's, I mean, you can submit yourself. Like, you can submit... No, yeah, you can submit like, for the Eisner's, at least in the indie scene category, you can submit yourself. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I don't know very much about, like, the award stuff. But I do know that a lot of awards in the traditional publishing world, you can't get them unless you are with a publisher. Anyways, it's going back by the way to the pros and cons of the publisher. The publisher, this is how the transaction works between the publisher. The publisher says, hey, we need IP, otherwise we can't make sales. Without IP, they don't get sales. You, the creator, go, I have an IP, but I need distribution, marketing, and sales. And they go, sweet. We have all of that. Give us your IP. Let us either own it or borrow it, depending on the deal. And then we will then give you a pay structure. Pay structure could be a page rate, a royalty, or a hybrid. Now with our page rate, this is what we went down. Let's say you get paid $50 a page and you get 20 pages. You would make $1,000. You would make $1,000 off that one book. With the royalty deal, to get $1,000, you would need to sell 1,400 copies. So if you are like, if you don't sell 1,400 copies or don't think you can, it's smarter to take the page rate deal so you can get to that $1,000. However, the moment that you start selling over 1,400 copies, the royalty deal becomes way better monetarily for you. The publisher is still keeping like 80 to 90% of the money, but you know, that's just the way how you do it. And then maybe they offer you a hybrid deal, which is something that I was able to have with Panda Bards, where they give you a page rate. Once they break even and make a little bit of a profit for themselves, then your royalty structure can kick in. Art Victim, I feel if you were to get 1,400 new customers' eyes on your product via publishing, it would be a good thing regardless, possibly to advertise the fan club newsletter. But here's the thing though. You can't advertise to a newsletter to those 1,400 people because you don't have their email. You don't have their email address. You don't have any way to contact these people. We have no idea who these people are. And so I agree. Like 1,400 people reading your work is freaking awesome. Like that is sick. Like that is awesome. Like hands down. Like with Band of Bards, we sold 3,000 copies of Coins of Judas 1 and 2. I think just of 1? I don't remember. I think it was 1. And so like I don't know who those 3,000 people are, but I think it's sick that that they bought the book. I wish though that I was they didn't want us to put our email stuff in there. And if the publisher is cool, by the way, with you putting a QR code in there, that's awesome. I know some publishers like don't like doing that because, like I said, like data is super important. Data is king, not money. Data is king for a business. And so, I'm not trying to, I'm trying to win as the business, and so I want the customer data. Larry, Tyler, you were advertising in the back cover of your book. Are you talking about through AP, Band of Bards, my own personal books? Gyro, Data is King. Who else is listening to the stream while lifting? There we go. Art Victim. This is why I dig the AP idea myself. Get them customers on all fronts, a newsletter, sign up, QR code. Yeah, like if AP is cool with that, and I've heard that they're pretty cool with that kind of stuff, then yeah, that's sick. Kim, I'm working on my comic while listening. Yeah, so there you go. Vincent, sorry, I couldn't focus on stream, so just say you answered already if you did, but how much do older volumes and different series sell on current campaigns? At least for mine, I always sell at least five copies of all the volumes of the Growth of Megafist. So typically if someone buys volume 1, they're going to buy volumes 2 and 3. I always sell like 4 or 5 copies of my Demons Omnibus per campaign. So there is never a campaign where I'm not selling a couple hundred like extra books, either digitally or physically. And that's the beauty, by the way, of having more titles. That's the beauty of having a backlist, is that like I will forever be selling these books. That's why when you see creators who've been doing it a little longer, you're like, man, how come they're making this money? It's because they have more books to sell. They're not just selling the same book. They're able to constantly get you more stuff and sell their backlist. Especially for example, the reason why Super Plumber Sisters 1 did so well is because over 20K is because like 70% of those backers were brand new backers. They had no idea who I was. And so they bought Super Plumber Sisters, and then in the add-on section they went, oh, what is all this other stuff? And then they buy My Sexy Witch Academia, and they bought all 3 volumes of The Girl with the Megafist. So like the orders on that were insane, which is what brought the average order of Super Plumber Sisters in the $35 to $40 range. With Super Plumber Sisters 2, I haven't finished a lot of the books that we've done, like Bullet Assassin, Sexy Witch 2, Girl with the Megafist 4. And so for Super Plumber Sisters 2, the average order is, I think, $15. Because they're not getting as many add-ons. All the new people, like today I got a $150 order because all the new people are grabbing the add-ons, but everyone who already backed, like the returning customers, they're like, yeah, I already have everything. I just need the next book, which is, $15. Portugal, data is king. That's true. You're all king dads. There we go. Well, actual book / novel Kickstarters or Indiegogos usually have a writer's backlog where they may, I hate this freaking heart thing, or they may team up with the other writers to offer other tiers. 100%. Larry, you asked how do I advertise to those 1,400 people? You do it in the comic that we just sold to them. Oh yeah, 100%. But I'm talking like you can advertise to them. I want their email. I want their phone number. That's what's important to me. Like an advertisement without either a call to action for them to give me their data, it's nice thinking, but it's almost useless. If that makes sense, at least in the digital marketing world. I want people to give me their email address because then I want to find them because then I want to remarket to them. Larry, when I go to buy milk at the store, they are not getting my email. Well, that's different. That's an item of necessity. You need milk, you need bread, you need eggs. Why would buying a comic in a shop be any different? Once again, it's a little different because, like, for example, Batman's got brand recognition. So you can almost guarantee that people who are buying Batman, because of the brand recognition of DC, Marvel, and like those IPs, they know they're going to come back. But when you're a lowly creator like myself, you're either at a small publisher or not a publisher at all indie. I don't have that brand recognition. I don't have that brand control. And so the only control that I can have is my communication with the customer. So here's the thing, guys. Ready? With the publisher, store, customer. Let's just go you. So this right here is B2B and then B2C. All right. B2C. With the indie scene, the creator, you, the customer. And this is just B2C. B2C, business to customer. And how you win that is data. Caden, the entertainment industry is very different from service industry and consumer goods. 100%. Nabi, are you out of touch? How old are you? Okay. Anyways, so this is the publisher stuff. Okay. Like I said, there's pros and cons to each. Because let's get into the cons of going the independent route. Okay. If you sell those 1,400 copies, the independent route, you get to make the full amount. You get to make the full amount of that 5,586 if you sold your book to $399. However, you know what you have to do yourself. You need to be doing all the distribution, all the marketing, all the sales, and those are skill sets that you either don't have and you'll need to learn, and that could take time. And that's why it could be very hard. Like when I was working at the publisher, we had 3 people in the digital marketing. We had 3 people in sales. We had graphic designers, illustrators. We had warehouse management. We had warehouse people. That's another thing. You have all these books. Where are you going to freaking put them? Are you going to do a print on demand service, or Amazon's going to take a big cut? Or are you going to print all your books and then you're going to have to store them? So like right here, where's my OBS? So like right here, here's just 2 shelves that I have of books. And then I've got more over there. And then I've got packaging supplies, and I've got a shit ton of tape. And then I have to buy a printing label machine. And if someone orders my book from my website, I have to be responsible then to package it up and get it shipped out. Whereas like when someone bought their book from us, We had a team. We would print off the order, and we had a warehouse team. And they would get your book shipped to you. So that's a thing. A big thing that I'm liking right now is I'm really getting into Amazon. I'm learning a lot. I sold like 200 books last month because I put in money on freaking ads. And like, it was also a deal. Some of them was a deal. But 2 years ago, I put up my Kindle for The Girl with the Megafist, and I did a free promotion, and it was like the #1 shonen manga for a week. And I was like, man, damn it. Like, I should have if I had the physical, maybe some people would have bought it. But my point is, like, when I sold those 200 books, and some of them were like physical, some of them were digital. I didn't have to lift a finger. I woke up in the morning, looked at my Amazon account and go, oh, look at that. 20 books were shipped out, this week. I didn't have to lift a finger. I didn't have to buy any supplies. The money came in, bada bing, bada boom. So there's just different ways for you as an indie creator to make it happen. You do more work and you get more reward. Whereas with the publisher, the publisher is going to take a lot of like the big burdens off of you, but then they're going to take also 80 to 90% of the money that you make. So you're going to have to make a decision. Am I okay with a publisher taking all that on stuff that I think I could do? And you go, do I have time then to learn how to do that kind of stuff? A lot of like authors, they go with the publisher strictly just because of ease. They're just like, I don't want to, like, I remember talking with an author and I was like, he was like, well, I'd like to make more money. I was like, well, you can go the self-publishing route. He goes, okay, what does that look like? And I showed him a picture of my basement with all the orders that we had done. He goes, did you package all those up? I'm like, yeah. And I worked with the printer. And he goes, I don't want to do that. I'll just stick with you guys on my next book. And then we print the book. But here's the thing. Going back then to like the type of company, a company like when you're in the small category or even boutique, but definitely the small, there's not a lot of people working there. And so you're going to have to also realize that like mistakes might happen. Like, dude, the amount of times that books were late from my small publisher or like we got something wrong and like authors would be so mad, rightfully so, because this is their baby. And to me, I'm like, listen, we're publishing like 10 books a month. Like sometimes I'd pick up a book. I go, we published this? When did this come out? And they're like, it came out last week. I'm like, oh, frick. Because, I mean, think about it. I showed you guys right here with that, okay? The 30 days before, I'm marketing like 30 books. I'm doing like, I'm in this 3-month period, I'm marketing 90 individual books. I'm going to forget a book. Something's going to get let, and it's like, does it suck that it was your book? Absolutely. Like this is what we would do. And this is, I don't care that it's jacked up. We would go A, B, C. And we would look at the books that were coming out that month and we would assign whether we thought that was an A book, a B book, or a C book. And an A book got our attention and marketing dollars. A B book got some press and, maybe like little money. And then the C post just got a social media post. And here's the thing, like sometimes a book that was a C will go to an A. We go, okay, sweet, let's put some money into this. And sometimes a book that we thought was going to be an A, we go down to a C. Because like as a small publisher, which is what like most indie publishing is going to be, like you don't have time to do all the sales and marketing for these books. In fact, we require most of the marketing done to be done by the creators. Like for the sales team, we're going to call up the stores. Hey, look, we're going to call up the stores that we have relationships with. Hey, you're going to want this book, blah, blah, blah. How many copies you want? Sweet. Next. And then, that's what we do. Anything else outside of that you want extra, the creator is going to need to do. So here's the conundrum then. with you as an indie creator. If the small publisher, because by the way, all small publishers, they're going to be lacking in marketing and they're going to expect you to do some. If you, the indie creator, are expected to do some marketing, what are you going to choose? Chat, answer me this question. What are you going to choose in this scenario? When the publisher says, hey, we need you to market your book, here's the thing. When you market your book to the publisher is still getting 80% of the money. And then you get your, 20% in this case, depending on what your royalty deal is. Whereas, because I already know I have to do my own marketing, why don't I just bring the people that I'm doing the marketing for and finding, and why don't I take them to my own site? And then I get to keep not 20%, I get to keep 100% of that profit, So, you creator, if you work for a publisher and let's say you market your book, let's say you got you made $10, you know what you get back? $2. That's the publisher. But you as the creator, you do it on your own. I don't know. Let's just go website. You do it on your own website and you make a sale of $10. Guess what? You get the $10. So it just depends. Like you have to figure out what's going to work for yourself. Are you cool with selling 1,400 copies of your book to get $1,000? Or do you mind just selling 250 copies of your book and still getting $1,000? It's going to be up to you. There's no right or wrong. It's just what works for you. What works for you? All right. I think we did a good job tonight. My voice is dying. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask me in the chat. I'll try to answer it my best. Remember, there's no right or wrong in this, honestly. There's no right or wrong in this. It's just different strategies, different things that people want. Miracle Kingdom. Does a publisher typically have any special requirements for a book that is going in diamond but was previously crowdfunded and delivered to backers? No, it just depends. It just like I said, it depends on the company. With AP, I just gave them the Growth of Megafist files. They were totally cool. I know with people like Larry, Max DeVille, they just gave them their files, and AP's cool with it. Same with Common America and stuff like that. Yeah. Angels of Renaissance, I like that 100%. Blight Blaver says 80%. Must be similar for big publishing houses too. The Dave Webbers or Sandersons will get the A level. Oh, 100%. 100%. In fact, at this point, the A level people, here's something important as well. The A level books, they're going to get treated completely unfairly to every other creator because those are the 1%. Those are the 1%. The 1%, by the way, of book like these, the 1% are typically, when you're working for a publisher, are making all the money. Okay? And the money that is being made here in the 1% are covering the costs of the books that didn't sell well. And so we always joke, saying, we published 10 books this month so that one of them can pay for the other 9. Because that's how it is. You publish one book, you publish 10 books a month, you hope that one of them does so well that it pays for the other 9 that didn't sell well. Our victim, on a marketing question, how do you help your click-through rates? My newsletter has a lot of non-follow-through. I don't know if it's because my people don't use email much. I definitely need better service. VLJ says, please don't delete the stream. That's a great question, our victim. I'll tell you this right now because like I said, email as much I am. Okay, so let's go up here. Okay, so for email, So for email, you have open rates, and you have click-through rates, and you have unsubs. Industry average, 30 to 40%. Click-through rate, 2 to 3%. Unsubs, you want less than 1%. Honestly, what you really want is you just want you want that. Sorry, you want honestly that. Anyways, so if you're ever looking at your email, and if you're not in these sections, it's not good. So our victim, you might think your click-through rate is low, but this is industry average. Like, you should be in this. Like, if you're like, it's only 2%, that's good. If you're in the 3%, that's good. Anything higher than that is amazing. All right? But let's just say that it's 1% for you, or 0%. This is how you fix it, okay? So this is how we fix everything. Because our victim, tell me right now, is yours in the 2 to 3%? And is that why you think it's low? Because if it is, don't worry. Everyone I talk to, they're like, my click-through rate's only 3%. I'm like, that's good. Good job. So your open rate. How do you solve an open rate? Your subject line. Number one, your subject line, and then delivery. That's whatever app you're using. Like if you might be considered spam or whatnot, but typically the first thing you look at is, are my subject lines good? You can like Google like how to like make good subject lines and whatnot. There's there's tactics and whatnot. But yeah, if you want to get better open rates, you need better subject lines. If you want a better click-through rate, you need better content, and then easy call to action. So if you have like 5 million, like, subscribe here and also do this and also do this, the moment you have too many call to actions, the customer gets confused. They don't click on anything. So just keep it to like 1 or 2 things. And then unsubscribe things is all about good, honest content. So if you tell people, hey, sign up for my newsletter, you're going to get content A, and you start sending content B or C, then the person's going to be pissed and they're going to unsubscribe. So that right there is email marketing. Email marketing, by the way, guys, is still the number one way to get sales online. It's not content marketing. It's not being an influencer. It's email marketing, which is why, like I said, data is king. Data is king. Our victim, yeah, it's like in the 1% range, but also because my open rate was horrible. Most of my emails went to spam in the first email campaigns. Yeah, so that's a problem. You either need to get a new provider, check through your DNS, or maybe just start at least. Well, here's another thing. Maybe you need to clean your email list. Maybe you just need to delete everyone. So like maybe you need, I don't know what service you use, but typically you can see like who opens your stuff. You might need to make a list and go, okay, export only the people that open my emails, delete everyone else. That's what happens. It's called email cleanup. Delete your list, delete all the people who are fake. Now you have a new list and start rebuilding. And then, because then let's say you have a list of 10 people, but they all like your stuff. Now you have a higher open rate. Then the Google services go, oh, look at that. Like, whoa, 90% open rate. Look at that guy. I use MailChimp. I got a solid list over 200. There you go. I was using SMS Bump because it had great SMS features. Oh, there you go. I upped it by pleading the social media. There you go. Email marketing sounds cool. Too bad most people are kind of comfy on social media. Well, here's the thing. That like to get people's email, you just need this. Lead magnet. email. Money. So basically how it is. So a lead magnet is like, typically it's free. So free content, how-tos, manuals. For comics, like if you're doing like, it could be a free comic. If you're doing like to creators, it could be like templates. You know, maybe I turn this video, I private this video and I say, hey, give me your email and I'll send you this video that we did for free. So now you get their email. Now you get their email. They get the content that they wanted, and if they're happy with it, then you just keep emailing them once a week. This oh my gosh, the stream was a lead magnet. He's stealing our data. I'm in there. Like I said, for me, like my lead magnet is I have a couple comics that I give away for free. That I do for free. And that way I get people's emails. And then Mrs. H says I've been I still can't think of anything cool to put in my mailing list. That's always gonna be a hard one. So like I have three mailing lists. I have more, but I only have 3 that I focus on. I have my me one, which is the Draw and Talk one. I have my Breaking the Panel, and then I have another one that I'm not telling y'all. And this one's just basically like updates, like in personal. So it's like, hey guys, I'm making comics. Here's some cool things that happened to me, blah, blah, done. My Breaking one is creator advice. I haven't posted my latest one on that. I typically do like one a month on that. And then this one, I'm not telling you that one. And I did another one for funsies right after I got laid off. And I'm not going to tell you guys what that one was, but in like I went hard on it for 3 weeks and I gained up to 1,000 subs in that first 3 weeks. It just sucked that it was based around a topic that I wasn't quite into, but I knew had big potential. I just didn't care. So, yeah. Yeah, guys, like emails are so important. Like at my last job, I was managing like 100,000 emails a month, and you like recycle, you delete, you clean them out. My personal email, like all my email lists in total with all of this is like I have like 3,000. You know, I've been buying lists for work. You shouldn't do that when you're doing B2C, but when you're in the line of work that I'm in, buying lists is very common. So like, you know, we went from a list of 0 people to now like around like 12,000. Don't buy lists, honestly. Like we are in the B2C world. Like when we're doing this kind of stuff, we are in the B2C world. Do not buy lists. So forget that I said that, but because they're completely different worlds. But the world that I am in for my profession, we buy lists, and that's how we make money. Yeah, I think this was a really good stream, guys. What'd you guys think? Was this a good stream? Did we have a silly goose time? Is my voice freaking going? Is my voice going? Oh my stars, let's get this camera fixed. I need to get a new webcam, honestly. Kaden says 5 out of 10. Gosh, freaking dang it, man. I knew I needed to do better. I knew it. No, everything was good. Everyone behaved. We had a silly goose time. I mean, I don't know what more I want. I don't know what I want more out of a stream. 0 out of 10, too many numbers. Gosh dang it, man. Gosh dang it. You guys are being mean to me. This is what happens. You know what happens when you guys are mean to me? I do shameless self-promo. Guys, if I gave you any value tonight and you want to thank me, go check out Super Plumber Sisters 1 and 2 on Kickstarter. And Ms. H, where are the Yu-Gi-Oh cards? I was gonna do them tonight, but then I decided not to. I should though. I will next time. I like them. I do like them. Portugal says, good timing. I'm almost done with my deadlifts. There you go. There you go. Tyler, I need your email. I'm making a list. Oh, see, you see this guy? He just thinks he can just ask me for my email. I think I'm just going to give it to you. Vincent Flanagan, have you ever thought of making merch? Yeah, I have a couple designs. I just haven't launched them yet. I'm waiting for like a good time to do it. Like I do have I have a Megafish shirt that like I wear in public. So yeah, I definitely need to. Like I've got several designs. I just got to put them up on my site. One of the reasons why I remember this now is the company that I used for the shirts. I finally found like one that I actually liked, and it's the one that I wear. And then they discontinued like that style of shirt. So I was like, okay, damn it. But yeah, like I've got like designs for Sexy Witch, Super Plumber Sisters. Most of them are Growth the Megafist, honestly. Those are good for party streams. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. No, I like myself some merch. I even went to I went to a couple like anime stores in my area just to see like what does anime merch look like, because my wife freaking hates that stuff. Like in terms, like she hates that style. Like for before Christmas, she was like, can I buy you like a new wardrobe? And I was like, sure. And she like got me all this like professional looking stuff, and I'm like, where's like the graphic? She's like, you don't need a graphic. I'm like, I need a graphic. Oh man, no. Let's see. All right, we lost. Well, no, we lost 8 people. It's okay. It's okay that we're dying down. We're dying down. Yeah, but if anyone has any other questions, you need a classy pipe. That's what I need, dude. I want to smoke. I want to get into smoking. My one of my teachers, he was like, Tyler, you got to get into smoking. And I go, yeah. He goes, yeah. You throw up like the first like couple times, but then like it gets good. I'm like, yeah, sell me on this, man. Oh yeah, you're gonna throw up a couple times. You're gonna feel like shit, and then it's gonna be awesome. A bubble pipe. But yeah, that's the stream. If anyone has any more questions, feel free to let me know. You guys can let me know in the chat and we can get into anything. But I think this was good. Did it all make sense? Did it all make sense? Okay, chat, tell me this then. Did I present it one-sided? Because that's a big thing. I didn't want to do. If someone, there are pros and cons to doing everything. And I just want to present, the truth of being with a publisher and the truth of doing indie comics. Indie comics is hard. Doing it independently is hard. It's super tough. Right now, my goal, this is my plan. And by the way, I'm not making this up right now, but I have it. I have this little map thing that I made. I posted this on Twitter once, but right here, this is the train. This is the train. We call it the sales train. And in a nutshell, this is what it is. So we have stage 1 of the train is creation. Just creating the product, creating the comic. Step 2 is the launch. And this is we'll use Kickstarter. Step 3 and 4. This would be my online store, my OS, and then what do you call it? And then my outside sales. So this would be Amazon or AP. So with Super Plumber Sisters, once I'm done with the 4 issues, maybe I hit up AP. Maybe I send an email to Ben Dunn. I'm like, hey man, I know you guys only take completed series. Like, here you go. I've got either 4 issues of Super Plumber Sisters that are 40 pages each, or if you want to only do them 20 pages, I'll give you an 8-issue series. And, maybe Ben Den goes, heck yeah, this looks freaking awesome. And then, boom, now, AP, now I'm selling Super Plumber Sisters in the stores, and whatnot. But this right here, so like besides the AP aspect, because that is like a limited, that would be like limited. But the Amazon and online store, this is my forever sales. This is where I want my forever sales. Because like once the Kickstarter is done, it's done. So it's like, okay, what's your aftermarket strategy? Is AP Antarctic Press? Yes. And then after that, 5 and 6, I'm not telling you guys what they are, because that's up to me. But this is my choo-choo train right here. Step 1, create the book. Step 2, launch it on like Kickstarter, or maybe I just do a pre-order on my website. Who knows? Steps 3 and 4, the forever sales, or like the limited aspect with AP. If they so choose, by the way. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. And then these are my forever sales. So like once the book is launched, it's like, okay, hey, how do I get people over here? Like that's the question that you have to ask. How do I keep selling books? How do I keep selling books? How do I keep selling my back catalog? Because a lot of creators, they focus so much just on the Kickstarter aspect. They focus so much on limited time frame aspects. So a limited time frame aspect would be the Kickstarter and honestly through a store. Like these are limited time. So the question is, okay, Frick, like once that's done, where does the customer get your stuff? Like, what's the next step? You guys, you would not believe, because here's the thing. Once your book is out in stores, like let's say you're in the April release, unless you have a book coming out every single freaking month, it's done. But also let's say they just can't even get it in their store. Like the previous issues, like where do people find this other stuff? Where does people find your stuff? And that's why you'd be surprised how many creators will go, hey, I like your book. Where can I get it? And they go, oh, I'm getting this book. You can get my next book on my next Kickstarter. I'm like, okay, but like I want it now. When's your next Kickstarter? And they go, oh, it's in like 30 days. I go, okay, so I got to wait 30 days and then another 30 days and then probably another like 2 to 3 months after to get your one book. Why can't you just like send it to me through your online store? They go, oh, you can get it through the Kickstarter. I'm like, dude, like, yeah, Sam says it best. You really do yourself a disservice if you don't have a post crowdfunding plan. So yes, like I said, these are limited time. What is your post? Where is your choo-choo train going? Like where is the definition? Where are your forever sales? Now here's the thing. Your Kickstarter might be the one that gets like all the hype, okay? That's where like in terms of the timeline of your book, let's say it just goes like this. Okay, and this right here is your launch of your book. Okay, and then it ends right here. Okay. How do you make these sales? Because over time, these build up. Like you do $100 on your site a month. That's still $1,200 that you made outside of Kickstarter. So like, what is your plan? What is your plan? Let's see. Let me guess. 5 equals toys, merch. 6 equals adaptation to the other media. Wrong and wrong. 6 is pretty close, though. Dang, look at this. Guys, we did so much learning tonight. We did so much learning tonight. Welcome to class. Welcome to class, motherfucker. I hope this was informational, guys. I had a blast. I've learned this. Don't quiz us though. That's fair. I've been like thinking, because I'm like, what kind of content does one make? Because I've done it all. I've done reviews, book analyses, drama content. I've done it all. And I was listening to someone and they're like, don't like, just be you, like do what you do and what you do best. So like, even though I was doing those manga analysis videos, like I'm not necessarily like that into like analyzing stories. I like reading. But then I was like, I don't even read that much. Like when I was doing those videos, I was like forcing myself to read books. And I was like, I gotta get a video out this week. Oh, can I read? I guess I'll read Goblin Slayer. And so I was like, what are the things that I do? What are the things that I do best? I've talked too much. I know digital sales and marketing, so I can talk about that for days. Just because it's my day job. It's just stuff I genuinely enjoy. I'm constantly watching videos and learning stuff and trying to apply them. But then also, I draw comics. Those are the things that I do. Those are the things that I do. And I also read comics occasionally when I have time. So someone was like, we did a late night draw stream last night, and I got a lot of compliments of people saying, hey, like, this is the kind of, like, really like this chill content. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do like these kind of streams where if we want to talk about marketing, I'll talk about it. Cause like, I can talk about it. I know it. I'm not going to be like having to guess. And then as well, and I can just present them, cause there's no right or wrong way to do these things. And then, we'll do draw streams because I'm always drawing. So might as well just, hang out with you guys at times, and draw. Maybe once I'm finished with Growth the Megafist, I think it'd be really cool to do like, I have this plan. Let me know what you guys think of this, where we do a draw stream where it's like a 2-night thing potentially. And the first like night, it's we all make up like a 2-page story together, and we all put in like names of characters like made up or whatnot, and like locations, blah blah, and plot, and then we'll put them all in, spin the wheel, and then we'll basically create a story together as the through the live stream, and then we'll thumbnail it, and then the next the part 2 video is then like actually drawing and coloring it, and then boom, like we as a group, a community, have created a comic together through all of our suggestions. I think that'd be really fun. I personally think that'd be really fun. But then another thing, I was like, okay, well, I still want to talk about comics. I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just talk about my own? So a budget art fight without someone competing with you. There we go. Yeah. I'm always not I'm the winner. We are all the winner. But like I said, I love, here's the thing. I love making comics. I love telling stories. And I love having fun doing those. I read comics, but I don't want to make videos about them. I don't want to analyze, the reason why Jujutsu Kaisen, the reason why Yuji Itadori did his domain, I don't enjoy that kind of stuff. I like reading comics, and that's about it. I like reading them. I don't like analyzing them. I don't like collecting them. I just like reading a good story. And so it's like, okay, what kind of content? But you know what I do like is I can talk about my stories for days. So maybe I do a video where I'm like, hey, this is a recap of chapters 0 and 1 of the Growth of Megafist, and I tell you what it's about. I go, and then she says this, and this happens next. And then you're like, okay, he didn't read any of the dialogue. He showed me some cool panels. Maybe I should go buy this. Maybe that could be interesting. Or maybe you just experience the book through the video. And then finally, I like talking marketing. So if anyone ever has a marketing question, hit me up and we'll talk it. I've had, let's see, I do a creator commentary stream, Growth Megafist Volume 1. Oh, absolutely. 100%. 100%. In fact, Caden, in order to prolong how much content I can make, I'll just do it for every chapter. Because I'm working on chapter 47 right now. So if you think about that, if I do that like once every 2 weeks, golden. I got time. And then as well, if I put out the video, I can then go, talking about our lead magnets, I can say, hey, did you like this video? Sign up for my email list, and you can either buy volume 1 at a discount price digitally, or you can get it physically, or maybe you can read this chapter. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But it's just a great way to market. So we'll see. But Blazer, la, I can't hear you. I need to read that Mega Fist and record about it again. I loved that video that you made. I enjoyed it. Sorry, not the video, but the audio thing. I really liked that. I'm having fun, by the way, with chapter 47. It's getting intense. This is the final fight chapter of the volume. Between everyone, and then after this it's just straight drama. But like this chapter is where we drop. This is where we drop a shit ton of lore, and then like we drop a shit ton of not lore but like questions in this chapter 47 that should make the reader go, what the frick, like what the heck. And then in 48, 49, chapters 48 and 49 will dwell on that lore, the stuff that we've brought up, to cause more drama with our characters. And then in chapter 50, Angeal and Eliana will go down to Earth. They'll go down to Earth, and then volume 5, and then after that there is a massive. And thanks to Travis Gibb, because I wasn't going to put this part until later in the series. And he's like, you need to have for the end of he was like, how are you going to end this volume? And I told him, he goes, that works, but you need a new hook, because it's a great jumping off point. Cause you're like, sweet, I got their training arc. They're going to Earth. I'm out. He's like, you need a super powerful hook. He goes, do you have anything? I told him, and he was like, put the strong hook there. So I rearranged some stuff, and I've put this strong hook now at the end of chapter 50, where you go, oh, wait, what the F? What this is happening? And then, and after that we do the Earth arc, which we're very excited about. I'm super excited about. Anyways. All right. I love hearing people talk about their comics in actual detail. Yeah, see, like, I need to be better at that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, manga analysis videos, power videos, drama videos, those get views. And they can get you backers. Like, they can get you customers and get you backers. But I was talking with Nasser Rabadi, and we were talking about like, how loyal are those drama backers? Like, do they come back, or do they buy in for the moment? And that's something I'm curious about, because when I did Super Plumber Sisters 1, there was like, I'd never broken over 400, I'd never broken over 450 backers. And Super Plumber Sisters 1, I think I had almost 700 backers. And, I got kicked out of Band of Bards in my book at that time. Not kicked out, I left. And I was a team player. But regardless, I got canceled, and I launched that book, and I had a lot of support. I mean, I had a viral post. I had people going, yeah, defend Tyler, blah, blah, we need to support him. And now I'm like, okay, like, there's 200 people that I'm not seeing come back. So I'm wondering, like, are they loyal? Or, for all I know, they read the first book and they're like, yeah, this is shit. Which is totally fair. That's the game. That's the game. But yeah, it does make me curious. But yeah, I think I'm just like, you know what? Hell yeah, you throw up a couple times, but around chapter 50 it gets good. There you go. There you go. So yeah, I think I just need to talk about my books more. Because that's the stuff I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about making books. I'm passionate about my own books. I'm passionate about marketing. So the Blight Blazer's like, I'm hyped. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. All right, guys. I'll to anyone who wants to see this one more time, here we go. I'll kind of, feel free if you want to screenshot this or what. Nasser X Tyler, the Draw and Talk spin-off series. Oh man. Nasser, man, a man of my own heart. That guy has had to put up with so much like shit in indie comics. He's like, you know what? Like, fuck this place. I'm out of here. Oh man. You're just a passionate person. So much passion. I am excited though. Like, so after so on Friday we'll do a stream, because on Friday is the end of the Super Plumber Sisters campaign. So we will do a finale series. It'll be a party stream, whatnot. We'll have a Silly Goose time. And then after that, I then get to fight Kickstarter, because Kickstarter and we are fighting right now. They're like, you're not a creator in good standing. And I'm like, what are the rules? Send me a link to what the rules are. And they go, a creator in good standing has fulfilled at least 4 Kickstarters. I went, sweet. I've done 10. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. And they go, okay, well, creators who are in good standing, however, can only have 6 Kickstarters open at a time. I went, sweet. I have 3. I meet all the rules and requirements, and they have me by the balls. Just like, not like, they're like, I'm following all the rules that they have on their terms of service, and they're still being assholes. And it sucks, because then I see like creators who have launched who literally have 4 projects live at the same time right now. And it just pisses me off which is against their terms of service, according to like the sheet they sent me. So I'm like, okay, so I'm following all the rules and you're not letting me do this. Like, it's fucking gay. It's pissing me off. So we'll fight Kickstarter once we're done with Super Plumber Sisters, because I really want to get to My Sexy Witch Academia too. Like, guys, this series just like, this was supposed to be like a shitty parody book for 4 issues, for 4 chapters, and be like, sweet, we're done. And I rewrote all of chapter 1 to make it what it is. And now this is like a 3 or 4 volume series, because I'm having such an awesome time with these characters and the lore. This cover that I drew should not look as good as it does. And it only looks good because Rufai is just a fantastic colorist. He just like elevated this art. So like, I'm pumped. I'm like, man, like this cover, it's getting me kind of hard. I kind of want to buy this cover for myself. So I don't know. We got Tim here. In all honesty, Tyler, you find yourself in the same spot as Nasser and Shabby. You're all really young. It means you take a lot of lumps, but you have the ability to adapt quickly and learn. 100%. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, like, we do have the ability to adapt and learn. And like, we got the time as well. That's the thing, is we have the time to try out different things and figure out what works for us. And I don't know. And I just think, I blame myself. I think I've put a lot of pressure on maybe others to take comics seriously. I mean, I do think that if you want to do massive things and get massive sales, take it seriously. But at this point in my life, dude, we just want a freaking fun time. We want to have a Silly Goose time, make comics, do it as a hobby, have fun. That's it. Like, it's either I'm doing this right now, or I'm like in bed on my Steam deck, like playing Pal World and like enslaving some people. So And I just want to, and I'd rather be doing this. There's your new marketing slang. Sexy Witch was your experimental campaign that you started to prove a point, but it's taking a life on its own. Dude, it's taking a huge life on its own. I mean, let's see if I can find it real quick. Da, 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 da. Right here. Like this cover, like when Tommy sent me this cover, I was like, holy crap. What is happening on this end? Jeez Louise. I was like, holy crap, like this, I love this cover. Like this is going to be the volume 1 cover. 100%. Cause like this gets me super excited to make this series. I get pumped, and yeah, I'm just super excited to work on these books. Who was it on Twitter? Gosh. I feel bad. I forgot their name. Hold on. Because they literally spawn a lot. It's Kyle Prometheus. I mean, he even was like, hey, like you could like do your stuff in cycles. So like maybe you're done with, you know, after you're done with Super Plumber Sisters and Bullet Assassin, maybe after like a year or two, you come back with the sequel. Like they don't have to be just one and dones. You don't have to make them ongoing. Maybe just like, you know, you come back to it. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea too. I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to make comics and have a silly goose time. So with that being said, we're going to end the stream. One final shameless plug. Super Plumber Sisters is on the Kickstarter. We will have a fun stream on Friday. We'll have a super fun stream on Friday. We'll have the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. We'll look at some fun books. We'll play some games. It's gonna be a silly goose time. Blight Blazer says, "Do what makes sense." Yeah, exactly. Do what makes sense. Like, do what makes sense as well. Like, do what makes sense for you. Like, what makes sense for you isn't gonna be what makes sense for me. And yeah, like, guys, still drama-free 2024. Guys, that stream on Monday was shit. It was drama for those two, not for Tyler, but it was bad. It was so bad that once I got off that stream, I was like, I'm privating this. This is not good. This is not what we want to represent in 2024. But yeah, I had to tell Vonster on Twitter. I was like, he's like, what does drama free even mean? I was like, drama free for Tyler means that I'm not instigating anything. So like, I'm not reading someone's tweet and going, what the F? And then I go and I fight someone. If someone tries to start drama with me, like I'll respond. But you know, I think it's just about the focus. Like there's so many people doing everything but focusing on their stuff. I used to fall in that camp, and now I'm just like, you know what? Let me just make my stuff. So, all right. You guys have a fantastic rest of your night. We have to get the music going. George Mo says, good timing again. I threw my back out doing deadlifts, so I need to lie down on the wooden board. Oh, my stars. All right, guys. I'll see you guys Friday. Thank you guys so much for this awesome stream. We had a silly goose time. Here, Darky Dark says, yeah, focus on your craft 100%. Fiona Wolf says, gave me better understanding of how publishing houses work. That's awesome. That's what I like to hear. I'm glad that I was able to provide some knowledge. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. See you guys on Friday. Peace.